I quit my job. Now, obviously it's more complicated than that, and I'm gonna get into all the details, but the fact is I left the place that I have worked for the last 12 years in order to focus on this. This video is gonna be unlike anything else that I've released on the channel. I'm sitting here on my back porch. It's not gonna be a lot of production. I just wanted to tell you guys the truth so you could know what I'm super excited about with this channel and what we're doing, and a few other details as well. My channel's grown a lot, but at the size it is right now, it's obviously not big enough to provide enough money to like support a family. And so in addition to branching out and going independent, I've also started a new company, and I wanted to tell you about that. It's called Starshine Media. For the previous 12 years, I worked in marketing. We did everything from web and app development, search engine marketing, social media management, and obviously video production. What I have done now is I've started a new agency that specializes in those same things, but I've merged it with my interests in this space and have started working with clients specifically here. You may have actually come across some of the websites or seen some of the ads that I'm building and or managing for multiple different brands in the space. And I absolutely love it. So I don't want to talk a lot about Starshine in this video, but I did want to let you know that's something that I'm doing. And if you want more information on that, you can click the link down in the description below and learn more about that business. In 2020, when the world kind of hit the pause button, I worked remote for a while, like a lot of us did. And during that time, I got a taste for what it would be like to run a business independently and on my own. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And during that time, I also started getting more into like outdoors content. We started going on more trips, getting out on the weekend. I kind of learned what overlanding was during that period. I loved it so much that when the world kind of opened back up and things kind of started to go back to normal, I still continued to gravitate towards the space. On the weekends, I was still getting out. I mean, it kind of mixed a lot of things that I loved. And I was getting to spend time with my friends and family. I was getting that creative outlet, so I was getting to do production, which I love, filming and editing, camping. Obviously, I've always loved camping, but the big thing was the storytelling. Like I love telling stories. And for the first time in my life, I got to start doing some of this. And when I started, it was purely creative outlet. That was the whole purpose. I did not start this with the intent to monetize. That was nowhere on my radar. For the first 2 years, I never made a dime on YouTube. In fact, I spent thousands. If you want to look at it that way, I lost thousands of dollars, or invested. It depends on how you look at it. Eventually, the channel did monetize. I'm not one of those stories that like it happened overnight. It took me a long, long time. In the last, really here in 2024, but in the last 12 months, the channel has grown fast from what I'm used to, like 400% in the last 12 months. While my channel is still relatively small, 11, 12,000 subs, it has started to generate some revenue, but that growth has triggered the interest from some brands. And I've started getting some sponsorships, which has some recurring revenue tied to it. You know, I've started getting some members, people that are supporting the channel monthly. And real quick, I just want to say, if you are one of those members, or if you are one of those sponsors that has chosen to support this channel, thank you so much. Like, you guys are literally making this content possible. And sometimes that's very specific. Like several of the last videos I've done, like the one in Colorado, the Secret Mine video, that video would not have happened had it not been paid for by sponsors. And so thank you guys so much. Now, even with the growth, there's still not near enough income coming in from the channel for me to be able to, pay our bills. And so that is why when I left the company that I was with, I started Starshine Media. My goal is that over time, Starshine and Baker Overland become one thing where we are providing marketing material for companies, kind of like we're already doing. Sometimes I'm doing this from the company standpoint, where I'm providing materials that lives on their platforms, And other times it's on my own channel where I'm doing like product reviews and stuff like that. But my hope is that over time, these things merge into one entity. There are so many stories that I want to tell and places that I want to go. And I really am excited about the future, seeing the potential of what's happened the last 12 months and where this thing can go. And so yeah, so I'm doing it. The obvious question here is, why now? I've gone back and forth in my mind many times, like when would be the right time to make this move. And at the end of last year, the leadership at the company that I was with came and told me that the company was struggling financially. And they asked me as the head of my division to make budget cuts in my division that I just didn't feel good about. And I spent a lot of time thinking about this and praying about it. And for me, that was the sign. That was the sign that it was time to take this step and do this thing. Start my own agency and really focus on the channel for the first time like I've never been able to do. I'm excited and terrified, like just being real, excited and terrified. But if there's one thing that I've learned in life, it's that the biggest risk is not taking one. And if you don't take any risks, you'll never win. And this is a calculated risk. I believe in myself, and I've surrounded myself with incredible people that are tremendously talented and have so much wisdom to offer. So I think now's the time. I don't know what the future holds, but I got a really good feeling about it. Thanks for watching this. As always, appreciate each and every one of you. More importantly, remember, the more you camp, the less deer the aliens abduct.